It was the biggest weekend in Scottish football history. It was winner take all on Sunday. One team was going to come away with everything, and one team was going to come away with nothing. And as you can tell by my depressing tone, you know which side it was. Welcome back to Fog Football. Cards on the table. Couldn't care about League Two. Couldn't care about League One. Couldn't care about the Championship. Couldn't care about the Premiership and the four matches that took place. Hell, couldn't even care about the game that we're all wanting to talk about in about 15 minutes' time. Don't care about anything anymore.
I just don't care. Anyway, will we put the same amount of effort into League Two as Rangers put into their cup final defeat? That remains to be seen, but you know what, I think it's embarrassing, man. All I'm hearing from these Rangers fans is, can't fault the effort, can't complain because we put effort in. Effort should be the bare minimum. When you put on the Rangers shirt, that should be the bare minimum that you give effort. Just shows you how bad Rangers have got that they're accepting this now. Who cares? We lost. We put in a decent showing. We tried. You know what I mean? Like, trying, actually putting effort in is getting praised. There should be effort put into every single game.
Absolutely.
Can't believe it.
Saying something like that, though, loses the Jambo Bear tag and become a Jambo boy. You're a Celtic fan if you believe that, apparently. I mean, it's not good enough. It ain't. I mean, when did trying and effort win you games of, win you trophies at the end of the day? See, in 10, 15 years, no one cares about what game you put. No, but think of it honestly. See, like a trophy or a league title that Rangers won 20 years ago or Celtic won 30 years ago or whatever, right? Who sits here right now and goes, oh, remember when Celtic were runner up to Rangers? Remember that game they tried and it was equal? I mean, think of it right in the 90s. Celtic were, below par Rangers, right, for a lot of those years.
I'm sure they tried.
Yeah, I'm sure they tried. They came second to Rangers a lot of time. Is any Celtic fan going to hold that season close to their heart where they came second? No, of course they're not. And I just do not understand this mentality. And here, you can say you want about the players, the manager, and the board. That mentality from the fans is why Rangers have become the second, biggest club in Scotland.
Yeah, and that's, well, I mean, they have won the same amount of trophies in the last 10 years as St Johnstone, so am I surprised they've got that level of mentality? Probably not. Not a winner's mentality, is it? Anyway, let's move on to League Two, where there is no winners at all. Stirling Albion, though, picked up 3 points against Elgin City. Wasn't expecting that, but Albion got the win. Fair play to them. We then, well, what do you want to say?
Well, I mean, what do I want to say? I mean, absolutely hee-haw, really. We'll just move on. 4-2.
Oh, you fucking stopped there, so if you had something to...
I stopped because I'm just like, what's the point of talking about League Two? But I'm here now.
Right, Forfar Athletic 5, Bonnie Rose 1. Russell McLean, 3 late goals. Well, I say late. 3 goals in the last half an hour to seal the win, really.
Seal the win. Fantastic. Peterhead 1-1-0. Stranraer 0-0 Edinburgh City. That was a bogging game.
At Stair Park, I'd be taking the stairs...
Out the door.
The highway to hell. Staircase to hell, I think.
Alright, yeah. Spartans won 3-2 against Clyde. So your League 2 league table looks like that. I mean, Forfar were sitting rock bottom, so 5-1 wins. Pretty impressive.
As top of the table, though, 1 point separates 3. Very close.
Absolutely. Bonnyrigg Rose with a lopsided pitch down in 7th.
Edinburgh City continue to move up.
Absolutely. Right into League 1. Montrose beat Alba. Cove Rangers and Kelly Hearts 0-0. Dumbarton I was say they won 1-0. No, they lost 5-1. A few 5-1s. Inverness lost 2-0 to Arbroath, probably due to the fact going into 10. Queen of the South defeated Stenhousemuir 2-1. Your League 1 league table is as follows.
Where's the love for League 1, man? You're just skipping through this like it's not even important.
It ain't important. Sorry to burst anyone's bubble, man, but this weekend it was the least important any of the other leagues have been. Don't worry, we'll get to the Premiership. A few important things going on in there. Into the Championship, Airdrie 2, Greenock Morton 2. I think this was a coupon buster. Airdrie have scored, I think it was like was it 5 goals all season or something crazy like that?
Yeah, Ben Wilson, though, got 2 today. Is it enough? I don't know, but I think a defeat would have pretty much relegated Airdrie for me. I'm not saying a draw puts them in a good position by any means, but I mean, at least they've prevented Morton from going 3 points further ahead.
They had to stop the rut somehow.
Yeah, I think realistically they need a win in this game, but I mean, obviously it's much better to draw than it is to lose. And I mean, they'll have to fight another day, but the wins need to come soon, or else they will be gone.
Absolutely. And then obviously you've got Ayr United winning 5-2 against Falkirk. A shocker, but Falkirk
early red card, Luke Graham sent off. They did take the lead though from Ross McKeever. McIver. And fuck, I don't know.
Pisseria.
Luke Graham, though, got sent off, and then that was the beginning of the end. Conor McLennan equalised, but then Falkirk took a surprise lead again, only for Ben Dempsey to cancel that out, and then Scott McCann scores a goal like a couple of minutes later. So, I mean, we had 4 goals there in the space of 6 minutes.
Yep.
Insane stuff. And then 2 goals for Alfie Bavidge late on in the second half. Sealed the deal. Big win for United. Did say that for them to get back into a potential title race, they had to win that. They've done that. So we'll see if the Falkirk bubble bursts or not.
Good weekend for Scott Brown. Hamilton 2-1 against Queen's Park. Bit of a boring game.
Good weekend for Davy Martindale as well.
Absolutely. And Raith Rovers defeated Dunfermline 2-0. They always tend to.
Well, I mean, let's talk about the Livy game. 2-0, Partick Thistle. Big win for Livy, especially after you consider that Falkirk lost. I believe this puts Livy, 6 behind with a game in hand.
Yep.
Chance to bring it down to 3. People were saying that Falkirk had the league wrapped up. I'm not convinced that Livy, in my opinion, haven't even been that impressive, and they find themselves potentially 3 behind. So the fact that Livy have stuck with Falkirk during this really good run, I think tells me that if Falkirk do slip, Livy could be there to take advantage. At this point, I think it'll be Livy that wins the championship. Hope I'm wrong, that I'd like to see a fresh face in the league. Although, I mean, I do have a soft spot for Martindale, so
Yeah,
if that comes at the expense, if him being in the Premiership comes at the expense of Livy getting back in, I guess shit has to happen.
Here, your wee team could be coming down. And there is your league table. Falkirk, obviously. I mean, they still sit clear, but Livy. I
thought it was 6 points, only 5 points.
I never got this off Falkirk have won the league. You and Cameron. It's too close to say that they'd won the league.
Yeah, I mean, so Falkirk could have a 2-point lead if Livingston win the gap to Ayers down to 7. Look, this could be a close title race. And I hope there is.
And what you've got to bear in mind, Falkirk were a League One team. Livy were a Premiership team.
So when was the last time the championship was won easy? Probably when Hearts were in it. The last 3-4 seasons.
You were in that like a Shield of Honour?
Well, the last 3-4 seasons it's been really close.
No, it has been.
And I'm expecting another close battle again.
I think it will be close, but let's move into the Premiership. I mean, honestly, I remember during the Celtic Rangers game, Coon made it 3-2. I was scrolling through my Twitter and I saw full time in this game, and I knew that Killie were down to 10 men really early on, and I was like, that is fucking shite. But when I was mid just talking about it, Danilo scored, and it was elation for me. It was quite like depression, but for you, it appears to be 90 minutes of depression. And I think questions have got to be asked about Critchley now.
I know he's just in, but
he can just be it as well, though.
Yeah, look, for me, he's not the man. I never wanted him, never asked for him, wasn't happy when he got appointed. Thought it was a cheap option. Oh, we're bringing in Neil. I mean, who? Very, very underwhelming signing. I've gave him a chance. It's no good enough. Well, I mean, if this is a new manager bounce, then God knows what we're going to be like in the second half of the season. I do genuinely believe there's a real chance Hearts could go down at this point, which is insane because when you've got the quality of the squad, it's just this should not be a team that is down in the bottom half of the table.
Yeah, it might take Hearts to actually sack him to get another bounce. I mean, they didn't get a bounce for him.
You and Cameron predicted Hearts to finish second. Now, I never predicted that, but I thought Hearts would be third.
Second last.
No, third.
Second. But here, not the thing is, right? Kelly, Robbie Days, and McKinns are lucky. Another red. See, when they went down to... I was like, all right, Hearts are going to easy win here for them. And they've lost 1-0. Didn't watch the game, don't actually know much of the stats, but can anyone confirm or deny that Hearts actually deserved to get anything?
No. I was working, so I didn't see it, but yeah, could be a big result for Kilmarnock as well.
Yeah, and, we'll get to the league table, but Hearts rock bottom, and Kelly and Hibs are both above Ross County and St Johnstone. And speaking of Hibs, there you go, a lot of drama. Ross County took the early lead, but they never went away from home, so it was never really in doubt.
Aye, Elijah Campbell giving them a 1-goal lead in the second minute. I had money on Hibs, so I'm thinking, yep, look at that Hearts man betting Hibs, fucking disgraceful, isn't it? But sometimes you got to sell it for cash in this world. I thought I was beat, but Dwight Gale scored just for half time, and then Johan with a 73rd minute goal to put Hibs in front, followed by a Josh Campbell 94th minute goal to seal the game. Just under 1,500, 15,000 even. Fuck me, can't even get a word here, right? Under 15,000.
It's alright, you tried.
At Easter, well, I mean, Rangers fans will love me. At Easter Road then, so aye, I mean, good win for Hibs, a much needed win for Hibs, and is it fair to say that Hibs are back? Because, I don't know, man, it looked like Davy Gray was maybe he was like one bad result away from being on the verge of getting sacked, and now all of a sudden, since that draw against Aberdeen, they've like turned it around.
Absolutely, because even in the defeat at Parkhead, you know, Hibs tried. Still lost 3-0, but you seen something. And that's acceptable for a team like Hibs. You know what I mean? And then they've won here today. They're picking up points. They're off the rock bottom of the table. Good things in the future, potentially, for Hibs. And as you said in the preview show, they've got the trump card of sacking a manager.
Not that they might not need to at this
No,
point.
they probably won't need to, but they always had that in the back pocket. Next game, crazy match, 4-3, Motherwell. So Motherwell pick up the victory. Big Andy Halliday with a goal. Lots of goals, lots of drama. Big Sam Dalby, he's turning into an absolute goal scoring machine, him.
He has a lot of goals this season. Very impressive, but his 2 goals weren't enough. It was Motherwell with a 4-3 win in the 7-goal thriller. And this actually puts them in front of Dundee United in the league table. So, you know, as good as Dundee United's start to the season has been, Motherwell's is, I'm not going to say arguably. I mean, if we're basing it on points, it has been better. I think Dundee United have looked the better team in the majority of the games, but
goal difference would suggest that.
Motherwell have more points, so it is what it is. What a fantastic start for 2 teams that, in my opinion, I had down the lower end of the table in my predictions.
Yeah.
I believe I had them 9th and 10th.
So, I mean, that is a crazy turnaround, but when Hibs and Hearts, Arsfold and Killie and St Mirren don't do as good as what they did last season, then you're obviously going to have a shift in a small league like that. Speaking of a shift, St Johnstone leading quite a few times. They were leading 2-1, and then St Mirren...
They were leading once, mate.
Well, once is all you need to lead, apparently. But look at that. Those 2 late goals have killed them, especially the 99th minute one.
I feel bad for St Johnstone here. A win would have been obviously good for them. Would have put them into 9th place, but to not even get a point in the end
is absolutely soul destroying. They could have went level with Ross County. And when I look at this league table, I look at Hearts and I think, right, as I said, Killie and Hibs, they're above Ross County and St Johnstone, albeit goal difference in the case of Hibs, but you would I think it just proves how much of a massive victory that was for Kilmarnock.
Well, absolutely.
I mean, I don't know who Hearts play next, right? I feel like Hearts have had a tough run of games recently.
Well, if Hearts won, Kilmarnock would have been bottom.
But
which also shows you how close the relegation battle could be.
Hearts, obviously, only team that has to play midweek here. They will be playing Thursday, Sunday, and a Thursday game they simply need to win. So I wouldn't really be... I think Hearts will be bottom at Christmas.
It's looking that way. What can I say? Hearts are shite. Just shouldn't be possible with the team that we have, but aye.
Losing his voice there. St Johnstone, though, they're 11th.
Ready to fucking cry my eyes out, but
Ross
aye.
County 10th. Hibs 9th. Killie 8th. Dundee 7th. St Mirren 6th. Dundee United 5th. Motherwell 4th. Rangers in 3rd, but it's alright, they're behind Aberdeen. They tried. And then it's Celtic sitting on top, as they always do. I hate them with every fibre of my being, but they're there, doing what they do best, and that's winning. Ain't that right, big man?
That is winning, and that's exactly what they done on Sunday.
It absolutely is. Celtic 3, Rangers 3, in brackets, 5-4 to Celtic. So there you go. A lot of goals, a lot of drama, a lot of yellows. Brother John was on the referee post. Was he doing the right job? Did he call it straight down the middle?
I'm not convinced. Brother John needs his bro, I think, stripped away from him.
Yeah, and you know what, right? Cards on the table here. I didn't see the Diamonde trip till today, so to me, that should have been called back. We've seen goals, and it's not one of those ones where it's like, it's 50 yards before. Kuhn's the guy that trips him, and therefore Kuhn's the guy that scores, so therefore Diamonde's marking Kuhn, therefore he can definitely, it's a goal-changing tackle there for Kuhn. It's accidental, but yeah, most things are accidental in football, but they still get given at the end of the day. But the big one that everyone's talking about is the scales in Tierney. You will struggle to find an ex-referee / current referee that is saying this ain't a penalty. So I'm going to go with them. For me, when I seen
Well, I'm sure if you look at our comments, like 70-80% will be saying it wasn't.
it, the ex-referees though, probably not. Yeah, I'm not going to be an ambulance chaser. I'm not going to sit here and complain about those decisions.
An ambulance chaser?
Aye, never heard that saying before.
No, that's a new one to me.
That's a new one for you. You know, see at the end of the day, right? Did those two decisions go against Rangers? Absolutely, man. They did. Looking at them, I mean, especially the Tierney one for me. But also the other one's pretty bad looking at it, right? But I hate coming on, man, and using excuses. I really, really do. Because you know what? This was must. Rangers had to win at all costs. And as bad as I think the decisions were, it's not like they were. Were they absolutely horrific and horrendous? Were they like the most obvious things of all time? Probably not, but with VAR there is really no excuse anymore, and that's the problem. There is far.
Well, they don't need to be, do they? I mean, it's not like, oh, it wasn't the worst decision of all time, so it's all right.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
You either get the decisions right or you get them wrong, and with the penalty, they got it wrong. It's as simple as that.
If Beaton doesn't get it in actual time, right, on the pitch, the there and then moment, you can accept that.
I've heard people say fucking Tierney was fouling Scales. I mean, desperation, man.
Yo, I've seen comments, I can't remember your name, but there was someone in the live chat yesterday defending, I mean, who was a Celtic fan, sorry, actually saying that, you know what, it should have been a penalty to Rangers. And it came at a time in the game where if you score that penalty, man, I think Rangers win 4-3. But again, you can look back to the chance at 1-0, you can look back to the chance there and that, whatever. And you know what? Celtic fans, they're the ones that cry about decisions. But if we're putting the cards on the table here, see like the past couple of years, there's been one team in the Old Firm Derby that I think has been screwed more than the other team, and it's Rangers. And that's not sour grapes, guys, because you know what? I am very fucking critical of this Rangers team, but I'm going to pass it to Jambo Don, who's very neutral. Who do you think has had the rub of the green, so to speak, over the past few years, and maybe potentially since that Cal McGregor comment a few years ago?
Oh, I would say it was Celtic, but I do think that Rangers benefited in the last 3-3 game. I don't think that was a penalty.
It was extremely soft, that.
And there was another decision that went against Celtic that day, so I think that one, Rangers got lucky, but it should be a penalty in my opinion. And I'll never get over the Dessers disallowed one. For me, that is ridiculous. That goal was not given.
Which one? Beale's game?
The one where he kicks his leg.
Kamara Roof, though.
Was it Kamara Roof?
Kamara Roof scored it.
But it was Dessers that...
I'm just saying. I'm talking about the scorer.
I'm talking about the fella.
That one...
You know, that's...
Swings and roundabouts, so you can say letter of the law, whatever, but...
I mean, from a neutral standpoint, what would I say? I would say that Rangers... It's not like they're screwed Rangers. It's not like... I mean, it would have put them in front if you scored it. But, I mean, they still could have won the game without this. I think it would be worse for them if it was 3-2 and they needed this to, get back into it. If it was like, let's say, the cup final last year, where Aberdeen, in my opinion, had a stonewall penalty, and it wasn't even looked at, it wasn't even checked. No, it wasn't even brought up in commentary.
Yeah.
Duke got fouled by Butland, and nobody even spoke about it. And they were like, oh, what's happening here? And it's like, they were on about some other shit that was going on, or they're on about a tug of the jersey or something like this. And they didn't even see Butland completely fucking take Duke's legs away from him when he was on the turn. So, I mean, it's what it is. That's back-to-back years now. I think there's been 2 blatant penalties, and none of them have been given.
Yeah, and it's just the incompetence. Willie Collins probably going to come out in that wee podcast with Gordon Duncan and footy adventures and give some piss-poor explanation.
One's went against Rangers, one's went for Rangers, but I can tell you this... And not one has went for a non-Old Firm opposition, so... Yeah.
Does that tell you that they rank Celtic above Rangers? Potentially. But, I mean, see the game, see for a neutral, man, this is a fantastic game of football. Free each, man. Goals after one another. You've got the FAR drama. You've got a penalty shootout between, it's the biggest derby in the world, with the biggest amount of trophies on the line, 118 against 118. People would say the Michael Massey diss, if you know, for Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, a couple of years ago.
The fact the referee never actually went over to VAR to look at it, though, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. But then, is that why they didn't recommend him? Did they know, well, if he goes over, he's given that? You know what I mean? If Bean goes over, He has to give it, unless he doesn't know the rules and he's incompetent, which he might be. But it was a game.
Oh, it wouldn't be the first mistake John Beaton's made in his career.
It definitely wouldn't be, but yeah, Rangers, they tried, but it was like, I do not get this mentality, man. Honestly, I just see this try pish, birthday card pish. That's what it is. Because who cares if you try? You need to, this is the most meaningful cup final for me, almost ever. I mean, it's not quite a European final. I'll accept that, right? But this is Rangers against Celtic. They're on level. This is bragging rights, man. Turned up to the max. Gas mark 6 for fuck's sake. And I'm hearing people come out. We tried. I'm hearing people say you can't fault one player. Hello, yo. See, as a collective unit, we lost, but was our players absolutely better than us? Absolutely, man. There was players that knocked their pan in yesterday, but there was also players that didn't do any running about when they got subbed on. All right, bracket subs, and there was also players that gave away a lot of the goals and gave up a lot of times, possession. I'm just not buying this trying pish. This is Rangers against Celtic. Even if this is at the end of the season and it's one of those meaningless Old Firm games, right, where Celtic have got the league wrapped up, or on the very odd occasion Rangers do, I still want 110% being put in. But see, the fact is, on Sunday, man, as I said, it was the biggest game potentially ever in the history of Scottish football with these trophies on the line, and it's like they tried, and that's good enough. Fans like that, right, are the reason why the stand-ups at Rangers have fucking nosedived, and it is what it is. And you know what? Maybe after 12 years of the stand-ups nosediving, that is the normality, and that is just going to breed fans that don't know what it's like to win, and therefore their mentality is going to be shite and pathetic. Do you agree with that?
Could be the case, yeah.
Because, I mean, you look across English football, like Liverpool for 30 years were shite. Near enough 30 years, right? They won the Champions League, right? You look at Manchester United. I mean, I think a good season for Man United now is top 6. And that's the fucking reality.
Well, I guess the more you get starved of success, the easier you are to please. So, I mean...
Yeah, but you know what, man? This is a one-off final, and Celtic weren't even good, man. Celtic were very mediocre.
Look at when Celtic have a below par performance or something like that, or a half bad result, and they're like embarrassing, pathetic.
Yeah.
The fans. So I mean, they've just got this. They expect more.
You just know, right? If Rangers won this on penalties, Greg Taylor is getting cursed out, right? He is absolute, because that first goal he gave away, man, with the whole Barami goal and whatever. He's getting cursed out, right? Ralston for the third goal, absolutely. Rio Atati, apart from that pass to Engels, he'd probably get cursed out. Cal McGregor was a bit of a passenger in the game yesterday, brutally honest. He was, but he won. But again, that's the mentality. Despite Cal McGregor, James Forrest, didn't have an impact. I think it was his 25th Celtic trophy. Despite winning 25 trophies with the club, I think he's one away from matching the all-time record. There have been Celtic fans going through him, and that's the difference. And we've seen it during the 55 season in November. Sharks and barricades. Rangers fans laugh at it, but maybe that's the mentality that needs to be had. Not this sugarcoat things and wrap these players up in bubble wrap. Oh, I feel bad for Yilmaz, he's crying. Oh, he tried. He missed the penalty. And I'm not pinning it on Yilmaz, right?
I'm sure Shane Duffy tried that season, but, didn't stop him getting a bashing out.
Of course it didn't, and yeah, it is what it is. But I'm not accepting it, man. I think you know what? I'm not talking about 10% of Rangers fans here. This is like 75 to 80% are in the we tried and it was good, and I'm actually in disbelief.
I'm embarrassed for them.
Yeah, and you know what? It just is. And see, a couple of weeks ago, we thought Celtic were going to win this game easy. But that doesn't mean on the day when Rangers turn up to a degree and, play a wee bit better than Celtic in patches, excuses it compared to a couple of weeks ago when Rangers were shite and looking hopeless. That maybe works for Accrington Stanley, man, but it shouldn't work for Rangers at the end of the day. And, Celtic won the trophy. As I said, great game for a neutral.
Yeah, it was a poor Celtic performance and they still won.
Yeah.
That should worry Rangers fans.
And that should. Yeah, Come on, still can't get the monkey off his back. And you know what? Today's Monday. I didn't think he'd get sacked. He hasn't got sacked. And you know what? Would it have been harsh to sack him based off yesterday? Yeah, but I'm not basing it off yesterday. I'm basing it off the other 6 games. I'm basing it off a bottled league last year. I'm basing it off a bottled cup final last year. I'm basing it off this one as well. The standards have dropped up. I mean, astronomically, man. There's no sign of them getting better anytime soon. So that makes me sound like a Celtic fan or bitter than I don't know what to say. I think it's
I fucking hate football.
I think it's the truth I've just spoke there.
Aye.
I mean, I don't know how. I mean, someone said I came across a Celtic fan for saying what I've just said there. How? I think you're closer to be a Celtic fan if you think that's good enough for Rangers yesterday.
If you're happy enough with it,
I mean, the happy clappers have derailed this club, man. It's a fucking disgrace. Anyway, it's not the Rangers show, it's the SPFL show, but massive game and all that, and is what it is. Celtic won, and whoever wins deserves to win. Yeah, a couple of dodgy decisions in there, but I'm not going to fucking greet about that for months, man. That's for Celtic fans to do when Connor Goldson plays basketball. But anyway, I'm going to hit this 3-pointer and sign out. Peace.